Hey guys, it's Damien again. I've got a video tonight. I'm going to be answering a question, which is actually one of the best questions that I've ever been asked since I've had my channel here on YouTube, which has been kind of a short period of time, but it's still a really fantastic question. I had one of my subscribers ask, he is going to start a cottage food business from his home and was looking interested in starting a website to figure out a way that he can utilize a website to promote it, but he's selling locally, okay? Which is a wonderful question and is actually a great idea. And I'm going to explain 5 reasons why it is a fantastic idea to do it. And in some states, you can actually make a sale on your website online, but you can deliver it locally to your customer directly from you, the producer, to the customer. So let's jump right in and I'll explain how this works. So the question was basically, if you're not familiar, really quick, I'll give you a quick rundown. Cottage food kitchens are home-based businesses. Most every state has laws that allow people to create food products from their home and then of course sell them. There are some limitations though, and one of them of course being that you're selling through the internet or selling online when you're a licensed cottage food law or cottage kitchen under the cottage food law. You cannot do that not necessarily over the internet, okay? So understand that it has to be sold locally, but there is a lot of opportunity though. When my wife and I started, we started out of our home. It started very small, and we did fairs and festivals, and we did farmers markets and local places as well, local areas, and then it grew from there. So what I would recommend is if you want to, or if you're thinking about starting a website and you're trying to figure out how and why that would be beneficial if you're only selling locally, I'm going to explain the step-by-step on why you should do that. So number one, the first thing that you always want to keep in mind is that even though you're local and you're starting small, that's great. You want to make yourself look as professional as possible, okay? It is a business. You traditionally of course, have to incorporate yourself. I would recommend, a lot of states don't require that, but I would recommend you do that for liability purposes, and of course, get yourself some insurance to cover yourself during the production of your food products, even though you're in a cottage kitchen, okay? So, number one, first thing, look professional, okay? And if you have a website, that is going to help you right off the bat look very professional. You don't have to make it very extensive. It can be super basic. It doesn't have to be e-commerce ready. There is a difference. You can actually create websites that are for informative purposes, not necessarily for e-commerce or you're trying to sell something, okay? But number one, professional. You want to kind of look like a pro, okay? Looking like a pro is going to give you just more credibility, and it's going to give you an opportunity to, as you go to these events, fairs and festivals, again, farmers markets and such, which are always kind of like the traditional way to sell local product. You can hand out business cards and have a website address on there. And from there, the business card can only hold so much information, right? But if you have a website address, your website can have an endless amount of information about who you are, how you started. One thing to keep in mind, people love, absolutely love, the story behind your product, okay? It's not necessarily the uniqueness of the product, as that is a big part of the selling part of it, and it makes the product more unique and it makes it more interesting to buy. But keep in mind that when you have a story, like, you know, I started from nothing and I am now at home and I'm looking to build and I'm going to expand on it. My goal is to get into retail stores, to get online and to become a big company. You know, this recipe was something that my aunt had, or all the little stories behind what you've made are an essential part. Make sure you express that, and a great place to do that is on a website, okay? So the website is a great place to start and to tell your story, okay? And in the food business, it's so niche, it's really such a niche-y thing, if that's a word, niche-y thing, that the more interesting the story is, it helps to sell that product, and it helps to get the eyes and the attention of customers or potential customers, okay? So it's super important that you want to express the story, you want to spell it out, and just when you've got a website, of course, when you have a business card, you can't put all that on there and all that information. So you can lead somebody to a website and be as informative as you can there and express to them, hey, this is how I get started. So, and people love stories like that. So number 2, excuse me. So what you're able to do with the website, the second best thing about having a website, even though you're local, is that when you go to farmers markets, or if you appear at certain places on weekends, or maybe it's every Tuesday or Wednesday in the park, they've got local food vendors. You can update and you can set a schedule. You can let people know. And of course, through social media, Facebook is a great one, Instagram, Twitter and such. Pinterest, not so much, to be honest with you. If you're scheduling an event or you're going to be somewhere, Facebook is really great for that. They actually have a special feature where you can set up, there's an icon there that is for events. So if you're going to be appearing at, the local music festival and you're going to have a booth, hey guys, I'm going to be located at blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be there this weekend. I'm going to have my card set up. Come and check us out. It's a great way to get local people to know where you're going to be, okay? And a website can do that same thing as well. And of course, you can tie in your social media pages to your website and keep everybody informed, okay? Kind of keeping everybody in the loop, if you will. So kind of like a local schedule, okay? And keeping people up to date as to where you'll be. Setting schedules, like I said, or setting events and times and dates. Great way to utilize a website, even though you're not necessarily selling through the website, okay? So the third thing I was going to get into, and this is kind of state by state. Every state doesn't allow you to do this. I'll have to do a video. There's about 50 plus states. Not every state in the U.S. has cottage kitchen laws. So it's almost 50 or so states that have it. It's about 46, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So what you can do is, in some states, you can actually run a cottage kitchen, making food from your home, and literally sell it online. But what you're only doing is transacting it online. You're not shipping the product, okay? What you're able to do is sell it, and if it's someone like in your town or your city, you can deliver it, or if you're comfortable with it, you can have the customer come to your house. I don't recommend that. But having people come to your house, or you bring it to them, okay? That is allowed in some states, and I'll get you a list of the states specifically, because I have to double check their laws. There's a lot of laws that are set up by the states, the counties, and the local municipalities. So there's a lot of different levels and variations of what you can do, okay? So that is number 3? Yes, number 3. All right. So you can take orders, and that's awesome. It's really great. It frees up a lot of opportunity, gives local cottage kitchen producers a great leverage where they can use a website to transact. It's fantastic. Otherwise, here's what happens. If you have a lot of transactions when you meet people, most of the time it's going to be in cash, unless you have one of those, those little card adapters that allow you to slide right on your smartphone or your iPhone or your phone, where it allows you to take payment with a credit card or debit card. The reason why I say you might want to stay away from that is because of the fees. I can actually do a video on that too as well. To get that set up, that service, and have a monthly service fee and all that stuff, it gets a little costly, okay? Running it online, a lot of the websites, like the one that I use, the card processor is like 2% plus a small fee. It's much cheaper, of course, than having that feature. So what you want to do then is take orders online in the places that you can and deliver the product, okay? The fourth thing, what you could do with a website, the really interesting thing that you could do with a website after you've created it just for informative purposes, make sure that it is a .com registered website, and there's a reason for that. .com is commerce. It allows you to transition that website into an e-commerce website, okay? So once you have it up and running, and of course you've got more information and it's more informative, and then you get into a commercial facility or a commercial setting, or you've got someone producing it for you, and then it becomes a commercial full-time business, you can add on to the website and create an e-commerce website. Now you're actually selling product to the website, shipping it to your customers, and now you're a full-blown online e-commerce business, okay? But you already have that. Let's say that you establish a website, and about a year into it, you keep adding stuff to it, you develop the website, it's very informative, you got a lot of information. Now you can transition that, and it's going to be much easier than, you know what, I've been doing this for a year, now I'm going to try to start a website and create an e-commerce website, and I'm going to do it myself and do it overnight in a couple weeks. That's not going to happen, okay? It's just going to take much more time. Once you establish your cottage kitchen and you're selling from home, create a website, get it up and running, let people know about you, okay? So then number 4 is that you can convert it into a business online, okay? And it's already up. You can convert it to an e-commerce site. Okay. Now, the fifth and final thing, the reason why I would recommend that you set up a website and do this way, as opposed to not, and then going into business and then hoping that people find you. Get on social media, create those pages, right? Start to get a local awareness of your brand, okay? Keep in mind that you're starting a business because you want to create a brand, not necessarily a product. Because here's the thing. A lot of people create a product, a single product, but they don't think to themselves, you know what, I'm super creative, or I love food in general, or I can expand on what I have. Now you have a line of products, okay? A product line it's called. And you don't necessarily sell just one item. You know, you go to fairs and festivals and you sell a jam. Let's just hypothetically say you're making grape or jelly. You're not just going to make a business built around grape jelly. I can guarantee you that. You can ask the Schmuckers brothers. Obviously, that family makes a tremendous amount of flavors. Down the road, you're going to want to create other things. Trust me. My company right now, I started with about 12 items. We actually hand make over 400. Yes, 400 different products that we make. I never thought it would be that way, but I listened to customers over the years, and they began to ask me, hey, do you make this? No, but I can. You know, do you make this? No, I don't, but I can. So if it's something that I make, let's say, for instance, I have a cake ball. Okay, we make over almost 36 varieties of cake balls, 36 different cake balls. Why would you want to offer that many, Damien? Well, why would you not? If you know how to make a cake ball and you can make vanilla, why can't you make chocolate, strawberry, cherry, banana, coconut, and the list goes on and on. You kind of see where I'm going. Okay, when you start your business, you may have 1, 2, maybe you've got half a dozen, maybe 6 things. Okay, but it's not going to stay 6. Trust me. When you begin to see success, people buying, they're going to ask you, hey, I got this party coming up, could you make this? And you're going to be like, hey, well, if I can make that flavor or I can do this, why not? We also have nearly, I'd probably say 48 different types of chocolate-covered pretzels. How do you have 48 different types of chocolate-covered? I will tell you. I started off making chocolate pretzels and just threw some toppings on them, put them in a bag, and sold them. One of our best-selling products now, people order them in thousands in some cases. We had an order that was over 4,000 pieces of chocolate-covered pretzels because we had a variety of toppings. We flavor the chocolate. We color the chocolate. Then what it does is that allows you to maybe do a wedding, maybe do a baptism, maybe do a baby shower, maybe do a bachelor party, maybe do a bridal shower. Maybe it's a corporate event. Maybe they want 2 colors. So you see where I'm going with this? It allows you to kind of be flexible, create the same kind of product, but to meet different people's needs. That way you begin to now offer 48, 50, maybe 100. We have candy brittle. Instead of making just peanut brittle and cashew brittle, I make a line of vegan brittles. I make over 200 varieties that include dry fruits, spices, herbs, nuts, chocolate, liqueurs. We have all kinds. And my thinking is, hey, why not? Okay? So back to what I was saying is, don't limit yourself by what you can do. What I learned to do now is I'm trying to build a brand around the brittle box, okay? And I want people to recognize the brand, the products, the sprinkles, the toppings, the nuts, the snacks, the granola, the trail mixes, all of that stuff. Now you actually have a brand, okay? You don't have a product. So just keep that in the back of your mind. I'm not going to say you're going to do it overnight. My business has taken years to do, but you may start with, hey, you may start with a couple of flavors. Maybe just one product. Maybe you do chocolate-covered Oreos. You know what? We do chocolate-covered Oreos. But again, I offer those in nearly 26 different flavors. Because we just top them with different stuff. We put stuff on them. We flavor the chocolates. And so on and so on. So never limit yourself. But remember, the fifth and final thing, a website will help you build brand awareness. Okay? Because let's say you go to a farmer's market and you have a local following of a few thousand people. Hey, a few thousand people can turn into a few million. So local people are starting to say, hey, you know, Susie, you got a fantastic salsa. That's crazy. Do you ever thought of making one with peaches? That may sound odd, but one of the best-selling salsas that Whole Foods has is a peach salsa. Yeah, okay? So brand awareness. People need to be aware of your brand. The most important part of your business is building your brand. That is what people recognize. If I were to hold up a picture of McDonald's Golden Arches, that is a logo that represents a brand, okay? It doesn't represent hamburgers. It represents hamburgers, chicken nuggets, ice cream. You see what I'm saying? So all of that intertwines and creates a brand, okay? So the website, yes, build one, okay? I will do a video to make sure that you understand whether or not you can do a sale on there, but start it off to be an informative website. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist. In this day and age, there's so many build-it-yourself websites. They are easy, okay? I literally built the skeleton, if you will, the backbones of my website for the BritterBox.com. I had to make it 3 different times. I did it on GoDaddy. It was horrible. Horrible. GoDaddy, I did it on HostGator. Horrible again. And the third one I did finally is the one that I use now. It was a drop and drag, click and drop, put some photos. It's so easy. I literally created about 2 or 3 days is all it took. Now every single day I add stuff to it, take stuff out. I mean, you know, you maintain it. But now we've got, I think it's 600, 700 items. So